Good morning, everybody. Happy Taco Tuesday. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. We got a lot to talk about. You see the headline right there. We knew that this new NBA rule was going to affect James Harden. James Harden feels, I think he has the right attitude about it. Steve Nash feels some type of way. We're going to dive into that. And once again, we're going to talk about Delonte West for all the wrong reasons. But before we dive into that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And now here's the Fumble Squad. I'm your girl, Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRay the Fanatic.
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K and Jackie Ray. Who that?
Who that?
Who that?
Who that? Who that say they're gonna beat them Saints?
It
That was a
wasn't
good game.
pretty. It wasn't pretty. But definitely, I'll take my W.
It definitely had my my heart palpitating just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, we was making Gino look a little bit better than he should have been. That's all.
Yeah, but shouts out to Alvin Kamara. He out here breaking records, man.
I just don't want him to break. That's all I care about. Like, that poor dude is doing damn near everything. He had, what, 17 or what was it, like 18, 19 carries? And on top of that was our highest receiver. Like, I don't want him to break. Michael Thomas, get back, bro.
Yeah, quickly. I mean, now I wasn't mad at you for getting that surgery late, but now I'm kind of feeling some type of way about it. So
Man.
But nonetheless, happy Victory Tuesday to us. It was a struggle game, but we got it done. And I was worried because, I think I saw a stat that the last time the Seahawks had this bad of a record, it was like 2011 or something like that. So something like that, right?
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, all right, though, but happy Victory Tuesday to Who Dat Nation.
Yeah.
Who Dat forever. All right. Now, next week, we got Tampa time. So maybe on Friday, we'll discuss that and what we think is going to happen with that.
Or we can just talk as if this weekend never happens. One of the two can happen.
One of the two. All right, so let's get into our first need-to-know news because we knew these NBA rules were designed to, I don't want to say target, but basically, kind of target people like James Harden who do these non-basketball moves to draw the foul. And so now we're seeing that this is happening. And at this point in time, James Harden has only shot 9 free throws throughout 3 games. That's a very low number for him because we're used to seeing him go to the line. And so they're feeling some type of way about it. Steve Nash, I think, feels more negatively about it than James Harden does because Steve Nash said, quote, he says, I feel like he's unfairly become the poster boy of not calling these fouls. Some of them could definitely be fouls still, but they're so alert and aware that he's the poster child for these new decisions. I get it. There is a line, but some of them are still fouls. He's just got to stick with it. He got to keep going to the basket and do what he does because a large portion of them are still fouls. And then James Harden kind of took a different approach. He was like, you know what? I kind of knew they were going to target me, but whatever. So he says, I'm not the type to complain about it. I ask every official if they see a foul, just call the foul. Sometimes I feel like coming into the game, it's already predetermined or I already have a stigma of getting those fouls. I just ask officials to call what they see. I can't stop playing basketball. A foul is a foul no matter what league it's in. But bigger than that, I just got to keep playing. So I think that that's the right attitude to have, to just keep playing. Fans are noticing this as well, though. It's a very noticeable difference between how much James Harden was getting to the line versus how much he's not now. And so James Harden gets fouled so much in the paint and gets no calls since the season started. And then this next one is very interesting to me because I want to show you this from that Kevin Love. And he draws the foul, so take a look.
Love. A dozer in the air. Drew a foul, puts it up and in, and Kevin Love has a chance for 3.
Kept moving. The defense kept getting one step behind. He got him a bird and knocked.
So obviously that should not, if you're basing it on the new rules, that shouldn't have been a foul. And a fan immediately noticed that. They threw up this this tweet that says, how he get a foul by jumping into a defender, but Harden can't get a call while driving, shaking my head. I mean, that's a good point. By the way, the Cavs beat the Nuggets last night. Just throwing that out there.
I know, it's crazy.
Right. But here we are. And is it because it's Kevin Love and he's just not a name that we have in these types of circles? But based on the new NBA rules, that should not have been a foul. That was not a basketball move. You jumped into him, but he drew the foul anyway. Like, what's the difference between Kevin Love and James Harden?
Yeah, that your answers, your yeah, I don't know. Your question, your answer is as good as mine because I have no idea. I saw that too. I didn't think it was a foul. Steve Nash's points on James Harden make sense, but the thing is, when I think of that foul, like, yeah, I get it, but I look at more of Trae Young and Steph Curry. I didn't really think too much about James Harden on it. I mean, he's right. That is predominantly how he gets his free throws a lot, but I mean, Trae Young and Steph Curry, they do it a little bit differently in my mind. But as far as comparing how they get the foul to how Kevin Love did it, I've also seen in the I think it was the Bulls game, DeMar DeRozan got one similarly where there wasn't really much contact and it was like the old school way. I think some referees are still trying to figure it out. And if you also pay attention to the referees that have been reffing the Nets games, they always have the veteran referees for all of their games so far. I'm not trying to give them a pass, but it's been that way. So when you have the grizzled and experienced officials, they're gonna make sure they follow the rule. And some of these other teams might be getting some of the newer guys and people who haven't been doing it as long. So I don't know if that plays a factor in it. But if we're comparing what James Harden had to do with, like you said, 9 free throws total to that foul call by Kevin Love, I couldn't tell you the difference. I think that just might have been just the referees still living in 2020, 2019 or whatever. I don't know.
So I know James Harden said, oh, I just got to keep playing. But at some point, do you think it's going to frustrate him to the point where it does affect his game? Like, why even go to the basket if you know that even when I am getting a solid foul, you're not going to call it?
I think that's my complaint. I don't think he's going to the basket enough. I think he's still trying to get him off jump shots like we just saw from Kevin Love. I think that's the reason why he's not complaining, because he knows to start going to the hoop. And that's what Kevin Durant's getting to the line, no problem, because Kevin Durant plays that way. And I feel like that's why he's not as upset yet. I'm sure if we get more Kevin Love instances and he has enough of a folder of highlights they can show to the league, like, yo, he got away with it. He got away with it, then that's different. But he hasn't really been getting to the line by going to the hoop yet. And we know James Harden has that in his game as well. He's not just a jump shooter. So I think that this is going to adjust, or he's going to adjust to it, and he's going to get to the free throw line the same way he once did before, just not off of the 3-point jump shots as often.
Because we saw that Steph is having – you mentioned Steph and Trae Young. Now, I have to admit that Trae – I don't notice it as much on him, probably because I don't watch a ton of his games. Steph, though, I feel like it's because he is a smaller guy and he's always getting these fouls on much bigger defenders. In my head, I think that's always playing into it. He's using his small size to his advantage. But because I did see when in the Lakers game, there was plenty of times when he just flat out kicked his foot out and he was still getting that foul called. So, again, it makes me wonder if James Harden it happened exactly like that. Okay, refs, have a seat. Now here's James Harden. This is exactly what you need to call. Like, I feel like that he was the only tape that he watched, because it doesn't make sense that this is still happening. And Kevin Love is not small. That definitely was not a foul.
No, that one was a complete terrible call. Bad call. Like, I can't even say, like, oh, there's a little contact. Nah. The defender avoided it, and I think that's what the rule was supposed to be helping, was plays like that where it's such a small amount of contact that it shouldn't be a call, but they called it right there too. I don't know if it makes a difference because it was a mid-range and it wasn't off of a 3, which to me is still stupid. But I have no idea why that one got called. I think the referee. I didn't get a glance at who the referee was. So I don't know if it's just someone who doesn't have experience, and I don't know. I don't have an answer. I think they just missed it.
Yeah, Warriors fan said Steph doesn't need the calls. I agree with that, but he gets them anyway.
I agree. Right. I was gonna say no one's disagreeing, but he gets them. Like,
I think as the season progresses, that's going to be a big topic. Why is one person getting all these calls, not getting any calls at all, and then people like Steph and Trae and Kevin Love are still getting these same calls? So I think that's going to be
Trae's a topic. Not. That's what I was going to say. That's why I brought up Trae Young, because he's not getting them either, and a lot of Hawks fans were upset about that. But I mean, I feel like you said with James Harden, I feel like they did that with both James Harden and Trae Young, because Trae Young, at least for the majority, like towards the end of that season last year, we were seeing so many of them where it was starting to get frustrating. And it wasn't just Knicks fans, because we started it because we were the first one, but then as the playoffs went on, people were like, all right, hold on, that's not a foul. That's not a foul. So I think like they put James Harden and Trae Young and they're like, all right, this is what we're not going to do, because Trae Young, he has more than 9 free throws, but that's because he made the adjustment. He's going to the rim more, and he's getting fouled around the rim. So I don't know. I like James the rule,
Harden,
Still saying.
I mean, I'm not mad at the rule. I just want it to be used equally across
Correct.
the league. You know, we're going to do it and do it right, or we're not going to do it at all. That's my only, because, you know, it doesn't matter to me because we always seem to be in foul trouble. So anyway, so that's all I have for your need to know news. Chris, can you take us into the post up?
Ladies and gentlemen, on this Taco Tuesday, it is time for Post Up with your boy Chris, and it's going. We have fun. A good one. I think I'm on the other side of the fence with this one with Patrick Beverley. I'm not crazy about Patrick Beverley, but this one I had no problem with because I'm also not crazy about Jonas Valanciunas, and I feel like this was just half and half to me. But we know Pat Beverley. We know he loves to get under people's skin. We know he does whatever he can to get a call. He's one of those type of players, which you love to play with them. You hate to play against some kind of guy, rah. So he had this instant last night against the Pelicans, against Valanciunas, and I don't know. I think it's just Pat Beverley being Pat Beverley, and Jonas, he bit, and that was his problem. That's why he got hit with the call. But listen to the announcers. The announcers are the best parts of the entire clip.
He told Coach Borrego, he said, I'm going to go sit down. It's this show right now. And when I look at Jordan...
Oh, my goodness. Hold on. Patrick Beverley and Valanciunas are getting into a dust-up. Beverley walked up to Valanciunas, who was at the free throw line. And
that's what I love about Pat Bev. He doesn't take anything from anybody.
That's hilarious.
Like, I mean, to me, with the play itself wasn't that big of a deal. Pat Bev doing Pat Bev. Jonas fell for it, and that's why he got the foul. But he still ended up shooting his free throws. But regardless, anyways, if you want to see more context of what was actually happening, I have a different angle of this play so you can just see how annoying Pat Beverley truly is. Here's the second video I got.
Beverley with some words for Valanciunas, then a little push.
Pat's just getting it started.
Yeah, so it turned out to just be a double tech, so it was no big deal. But as you can see, and Jonas should have known not to bite on this. That's my beef with this. Like, bro, like, I understand you're like trying to say like I'm not that guy. I'm not the one to do this with. I'm all about this. Like how much taller I am than you. Blah blah blah. But like, don't bite on this. You were at the free throw line. Now you got an easy tech for no damn reason. They got a double tech and moved on. But I don't know. It's Patrick Beverley just being Patrick Beverley. Don't bite. Like don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't let him get in your head. That's all I gotta say. That's why I was yelling at Marshawn Lattimore all night last night. I'm sorry to bring back up my Saints, but I was like, bruh, DK knows what he's doing. Don't let him in your head. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it back to the Saints. I'm sorry, but Jackie, seeing this, I know you're not. Actually, I don't know. How do you feel about Patrick Beverley? I don't know. Do you hate him still because he's not a Clipper, or do you have a beef with him? What's your thoughts on Patrick Beverley?
I've never had a beef with Patrick Beverley per se. I don't like him, but I don't have a beef with him. I accept who he is and what he does. But this is one of those things when you said it was a double technical, I'm like, how the hell is that a double technical? Because I didn't even feel like it was just kind of like, get off me. Like a little get off me. It wasn't like no aggressive thing that he did, but I'm like, shouts out to, okay, so is that going to be the new rule? We need to call it the Patrick Beverley rule. Like, don't be a fly, just it's just the double tech is what tripped me out. I didn't know that was a double tech. That was a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pat Bev is just Pat Bev. Like I said, to me, this didn't mean nothing to me, but again, it worked. It got under Jonas' skin. I don't know if he made the free throws or not. That's the part I wish I knew to add to the story, but that's just Pat Bev being Pat Bev. Anyways,
this is why no one owns a Pat Bev jersey.
That's facts, though.
One in a Patrick Beverley jersey. Now I gotta pay more attention.
Why would someone wear one? Jackie. Look, I know people, and I'm one of them that loves to get role player jerseys. But I don't think even if he was a Knick, I don't know if I'd be like, okay, Pat. But I don't think I'd ever have a Pat Bev jersey. I don't know. I got some homies that are Clipper fans. I gotta ask them, but I don't think they got one either. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, that's funny. But now we're going to your boy LeBron, and I'm so glad this question was asked because it was the first thing I thought about because this kid that's on the Memphis Grizzlies that in that game where the Lakers beat the Memphis Grizzlies, this rookie he's one of my favorite kids in this rookie class. Him, Jalen Green, and we can go down this other ones. But ZAIRE Williams, I'm a big fan of the kid. I think he's going to be nice long term. But for those who may not remember, he was teammates with Bron's son, Bronny, in Bronny's freshman season, not but a season and a half, maybe 2 years ago. So now it's a full circle where he checked in against his dad now, against Senior in this game. So I was like, somebody has to bring this up because I don't think they didn't say anything in the broadcast. If they did, I missed it. And I was just like, are we not going to talk about it? LeBron didn't really react, but I'm so glad this dude asked LeBron what he thought about it, and his answer was perfect. Here's the interview.
And there are going to be markers that come up that sort of bring that into focus. I'm curious what it was like for you tonight to play against someone who played on your son's high school basketball team, and kind of if that even registered to you at all tonight.
Oh, absolutely, because I'm aware of everything that's going on the floor. I looked at Zaire a couple of times, and I was just like shaking my head inside, just remembering really like a year and a half ago, 2 years, not even full 2 years, he was hitting a game winner to send them to the state championship alongside my son, and going to the game and supporting Sierra Kane, and 1 year at Stanford, and now he's here. So it's just it's a weird dynamic for myself to see something like that, but happy for the kid, obviously. And but it was definitely, I had a moment for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I thought that no one thought anything. I knew LeBron, because like he said, and he paid attention to everything, but he didn't really make a big deal in the moment because that's not what's important. But I just saw that and it just made me be like, damn, this is weird. And then now, maybe, possibly in a few years, he will be playing with his son, maybe, or against his son. Like, it was just weird. But so, Jackie, you're the LeBron fan. I have to hear your opinion. I don't know if you noticed it, but or even if you did or didn't notice it, just hearing him respond to it, just putting that perspective, what does that make you feel?
I mean, I noticed it, and my first thought was, damn, I'm getting old. You know what I mean? That was literally my thought.
Crazy, right?
I remember crushing on LeBron when he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated as a high school student, and now there's this kid playing. It was one of those moments where I was like, I'm gonna need a shot. Like, this is a lot. But I think it's one of those. It speaks to LeBron too. It's rare that you have those moments where you're in the league that long. I think Sue Bird from the WNBA talked about it, about how, she's playing with somebody that's like my mom. It's like now we're at the point where I'm playing along kids that looked up to me. It's weird. It's definitely weird, especially because, LeBron has probably gone to birthday parties with him. They've had play dates together. You know what I mean? Like, this is a kid that you have been friends so long with his dad that you've helped raise him a little bit. And it's one of those mind trips that when I looked at it, I was like, this is cool, but it's weird. It's a lot. Yeah. You just have to you got to collect yourself, because it's just imagine how he's feeling. Like, that dude was my son's teammate. Like, he just perfectly put together. Zaire Williams was one of the best players, or if not the best player on that team. I'm trying to remember back in that year, his senior year. I would say he was the best player on that team. So now that's just absolutely crazy. But I mean, it's gonna get crazier if he plays against or with his son. Right. In my head, I just saw Zaire walking up to him at the end of the game, like, "So, Bronny, I'll be over later. We got to play,
game." Right. Hey, you think I can come by? I haven't seen Bronny in a minute. We want to hang out and play some 2K. Like, God, you know what, kid? Shut up. Go home. I don't want to talk to you. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And yo, Zen, I don't appreciate you, bro. I'm sorry. I got to call him out. He said Chris Rock's his Jared Dudley Heat joint once a month.
Oh, God.
I got beef with Jared Dudley. That man took Carmelo Anthony's spot 2 years ago. And now Laker fans want to sit here and celebrate Carmelo Anthony. Nah, y'all should have had him 2 years ago. I'm sorry, Jared Dudley. You could have picked anybody else. You picked Jared Dudley. Anyways, you could have said Kuzma. I wouldn't have been as upset. Anyways, moving on. Tom Brady. We have a further development on the whole 600 touchdown ball from yesterday. If you guys did not get to watch Jackie's video that she posted yesterday, we did actually get a further development, or maybe not. Maybe this was also a part. But this was the second part to me. I felt like was, but first and foremost, Tom Brady decided that he wanted to add, he's huge on Bitcoin and stocks and all that joint. So he called out his I think he's sponsored by FTX. I can't remember. I know he's sponsored by one of these. I don't know if FTX is one of them. But anyways, he said FTX official. Let's make a trade. Let's get this guy a Bitcoin. So he's going to get the 600. The dude that got the ball that Mike Evans actually gave the dude that Mike Evans accidentally gave the 600 touchdown ball to is supposedly going to get his own Bitcoin, which could be nice if he knows what to do with it and when to get rid of it or how long to keep it. But it could be a nice gesture from Tom Brady. But the thing for me that I was looking into, and we heard Jackie detail what the Bucks were going to gift. I don't know the dude's name. I wish you knew. Jackie, do you know the guy's name? Mr. 600? I don't know. That's all I'm calling him. Brian
Kennedy, I think. I know his first name is Brian.
Okay, well, we're going to call him Brian because Byron, okay, because I've been calling him Mr. 600 because I don't know what his name is. There it is, Byron Kennedy. There you go. Look at you. You was on. All right, so Rick Straw putting this up yesterday, literally right after the live that we had, saying the Bucks are giving Byron Kennedy the following for the number 600 touchdown football. Now, they added to it, Jackie. They said they're going to give him 2 signed jerseys and a helmet from Tom Brady, meaning that they were, in fact, signed from Tom Brady, a signed Mike Evans jersey, and his game cleats, meaning Mike Evans' game cleats, $1,000 credit for their team store, and 2 season passes for the remainder of this season, as well as next year's full season. Now, this on top of the Bitcoin, to me, I think that's a dub. I know some people say that's still not enough. That ball's probably going to be worth $500,000. Maybe. It might be. You're probably right. But at the same time, I'm trying to take my mind away from being, this co-host with Jackie on a show and just be a fan. If I was a Knicks fan and I caught Carmelo Anthony's let's say 50,000 point ball, and it was actually given to me. If the Knicks gave me the rest of this season's tickets and next whole season and $1,000 of merchandise and 2 signed jerseys and his shoes and RJ Barrett, like I'm trying to equate it all together. I'm like, yo, I'd be a happy boy. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, it might not equate financially, sure, but I'd be a happy ass fan for 2 whole seasons. That I don't know. So to me, I think that's a good enough prize. Now they upped the stakes from what you heard yesterday, Jackie. Are you cool with this, or you still think it's not enough?
No, I'm absolutely cool with it because I thought about it just like you did. I'm like, damn, like imagine if it was like LeBron's last game and then he wanted to keep the game ball. I got it, and I would be reluctant to give it back. You know what I mean? But if LeBron came over and was like, hey, I'll take a picture with you. I'm going to give you 2 signed jerseys. I know you don't have any of my shoes. I'm going to give you like 5 pairs of sneakers that I'm going to sign all of them. And all, your 2 other favorite players are here. I'm going to get you a signed jersey from Russ and Carmelo. I'd be like, here's your ball back.
I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Gift card, you know what I mean? Like, here's your ball back. Just give me stuff. Give me stuff.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think that's the problem of a sports fan, because yes, I mean, sure, if you put all that sign, just think like, no, give me money now. I want all the money. But as a sports fan, knowing that you're getting this signed stuff from your favorite player, and on top of that, you can buy $1,000 worth of merch from your favorite team. Like, as a sports fan, that's like heaven. Like, I get it. It does go cut a little short to what that ball might actually eventually be worth. But as a fan, like, I get it. And 2 years, a year and a half, because there's still a lot of season left in the NFL, especially for the Bucks. A year and a half of season tickets, like, I don't know, man. To me, I think that's a dub. I think that's a dub.
Yeah, I do too. The Bitcoin, I'm like, but that's just because I still don't understand Bitcoin.
Don't understand, right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I'm like, cool, but it could be nice. I'd have to have like, my brother is all it says, so I'd be like, hey, yo, man. Yeah, we good. All right, cool. So let me know when I gotta get rid of this. All right, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. So but I don't know. I think that's a dub. So shout out to Byron. I think he did get a good haul. This is way better than the little bit that Jackie was telling us about yesterday. I'm glad that they upped the ante because he deserved it. All right. So while that was dope, this is the first week I did not watch Monday Night Football with Eli and Peyton Manning, and I'm upset that I missed it because I heard Marshawn Lynch went on there and he stole the show. And these 2 clips were hilarious because he talked about his pregame ritual. At least he was rehashing his pregame ritual that he previously talked to Peyton Manning about. And This whole thing's great. I'll let Marshawn take it away. Here's a video.
I was watching your interview with Peyton on his Peyton Places, and I learned that before games, you had a pregame ritual where you do a shot and a half of Hennessy before the game. Did you do anything to get warmed up tonight?
Well, see, because I ain't playing, so I had a 3-shot minimum today. So I'm feeling real good, and so I took one for me, I took one for Big Bruh, and I got one for Little Bruh. So I made sure
perfect. Honored. I'm honored.
Yeah.
Thank you for that tribute. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, I was looking out.
I was looking out. But the best part, y'all don't understand. You don't understand the comedy of that line because he said a 3-shot minimum. If you were paying attention to the game, it was barely into the first quarter. So you know that more shots were coming. And if you don't believe me, wait until this moment that happened later on in the game, forgetting that he is live on ESPN2 or ESPN Plus, whatever the case may be. This was hilarious. Look at the face he's frozen on. Look at the face he's frozen on right there. Oh man, I'm so mad that I missed this with Marshawn Lynch. I had something else going on. I forgot. I was watching on regular ESPN like an idiot. It was just the whole thing. I'm so mad I missed that, but that was hilarious. And I lied. That was still the first quarter. So those 3 shots were hitting. But yeah, I'm so upset I missed that because Marshawn Lynch is the guy. He's hilarious.
You know, I go back and forth because I love Peyton Manning. For those of you who don't know, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. For me personally, don't trip. But I go back and forth because I can't watch. I love that show, and I do. It's fun. It's entertaining. I think they had Sue Bird on there last night. Tom Brady was on there at one point. So, but there is a point where I'm like, shut the hell up, you know, because they was asking Sue like, hey, you know, they was asking her basketball stuff. I'm like, football, you know, so I had to switch back to the,
especially because your team. That's why, and that's one of the other main reasons why I had a hard time with it because I'm the same because it is technically a podcast. That's what they let us know that is still a podcast, so they're going to talk through it, which I think is a dope premise. But when it's our team playing, like it's like, bro, that's nice, but did you not just see that throw by Jameis? I'm not trying to hear nothing about Sue Bird winning the championship or Miss not getting the championship. I don't care, like you know what I mean. So yeah, no, I get that.
Jameis threw a pick. And it was right after Peyton Manning was giving him all these kind of accolades and telling him how good he was. And he's like, oh, that's my bad. That's my bad. I jinxed it. It's my bad.
But luckily it got waved off. We're good. It's okay because it got waved off because I need to put it out there because I know ESPN listening to everything. Talking about Jameis Winston threw up the interception because you know that's all they care about. None for Jameis yesterday. None for Jameis yesterday.
But still, in that.
But it was funny moment. Yeah.
Up, Peyton.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not rational in that moment, and then it's like, okay, let me go back to regular TV.
yeah. No, I forgot, but I think it's for the best because I would have been upset hearing them talking over the game. And last but not least, we have ourselves a situation here because I think that there, especially because of who the team was, I think there was some meddling going on. I don't know if he ate it or not. But allegedly, before the Kings and Warriors game, the Kings gifted Steph Curry some popcorn because, I mean, you know, Steph Curry ate popcorn one time in an All-Star game a few years ago, so they thought it was funny, whatever. I don't know what the real background is, but they gifted him some popcorn while he was away playing their team. That's what I'm saying. I know a Michael Jordan pizza story when I see it in real life. I think that popcorn was tainted, and I hope he didn't, and I think he didn't, but I don't think he ate the popcorn. I hope he didn't. I hope he gave it right back. I don't know. And the tape is sketchy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have, like, you just put one at the top saying Steph. No, but Steph's popping corn. Like, put it all. I don't know. That was sketchy to me. I don't think he ate it, nor should he have ate it. But what's your thoughts on the opposing team while they at their home giving the best player of the other team some popping corn? That's
absolutely
sketchy, right?
not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do not eat that. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
They done figured out you like popcorn. They're trying to set you up. They probably have that ghost pepper shaker, Parmesan shaker. I saw a video on TikTok where this girl, she loves Parmesan cheese on her fries. And so a friend switched out. Apparently there's a ghost pepper Parmesan and they switched it out. And so she thinking she eating regular Parmesan while her whole body's on fire. So I think I'm like, no, Steph, don't do it. Never eat anything that the opposing team gives you, ever.
I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why you have to have all kinds of aliases for when you get like DoorDash and Uber Eats or whatever, because I don't even trust the city delivery drivers or local restaurants. Nah, man, I
don't trust company potlucks. If I ain't been in your house, I ain't eating it. I don't know.
Oh, you said you cooked that, Larry? All right, I ain't seen you wash your hands in about 2 months, but all right, you cooked that, I guess. I ain't gonna eat it.
City food.
All right, Jack. Well, we both ain't gonna be eating no opposing team nasty popcorn, but can you tell us what else we not gonna do on this Tuesday?
Yes, let's get into this very, very sad, but in my opinion, very, very expected what we not gonna do. I think originally it was probably 2.5 years ago is when I first did a story on Delonte West and him being, I think at that time it was at either a Jack in the Box or a Burger King here in LA, looking homeless. And then it just kind of progressed from there. And at that time I had said, look, and I got drugged to the gods. So that tells you how committed I am to this thought process, because I don't care. I'm saying it again. So at that time I had said, look, what's happening to Delonte is very tragic, but at what point does any level of personal responsibility kick in? Because we know that while he was in the league, several of his teammates kind of noticed that there was a problem. At that point, while he was in the league, he was diagnosed having bipolar disorder. And he chose at that point not to take the medication and to start smoking weed instead, which I think is probably what started this downward spiral. There's been several people who have tried to help him since. The most notable, obviously, is my business goat, Mark Cuban, went and got him off the street, and I got drugged again, because when that happened, I said, look, Mark Cuban should just go get him, put him somewhere, and not say nothing, because unless he wants this to happen, unless he has hit his own personal rock bottom, it's not going to take. And then all these videos came out of him playing basketball, and then he ended up getting a job in the center that he was in, and we all thought it was good. If you guys haven't seen the video of Delonte West's current situation, please go check it out. TMZ has it. It is literally everywhere. But the first thing we not going to do is push a jacked up narrative, because this is the headline that I am seeing everywhere. Troubled ex-NBA player Delonte West hurled homophobic slurs at cops. Please don't do that. Please don't do this. Let's stay on this train that we're on with Dave Chappelle and push this narrative that is actually not true in either case. When a man says he is Jesus Christ, he is president of the United States, he is better than LeBron James and Michael Jordan put together, don't lead with he's hurling homophobic slurs. The man is not in his right mind. You could have kept that, but you tapped into a narrative that's being pushed right now for a man that's not in his right mind. Please, every headline please change this, because now you've got people tapping onto this to see what he said against gay people instead of really nailing the fact that he's got a mental disorder of some sort. So that's number one. Number two, if trigger warning, I have a family member that is very much Delonte West like. He's on that same journey. We have paid for apartments for him. I have personally paid for therapy for him. I have gotten him a job. My brother has put him up. My mom's gotten an apartment for him. He has robbed us. He has stolen from us. He pulled a knife. Like, you cannot help people until they are ready to be helped. So I'm going to put out in the atmosphere something that is really hard to hear, but it's something my dad told me a long time ago when he realized I was just compassionate and trying to help everybody. You can't save everybody. You just can't save everybody. And I know that's terrible, because this is a public figure that a lot of people feel some type of way about, but you can't save everybody. If Mark Cuban couldn't put all that money behind him and really give him his best shot, for him to just end this rant that he's saying that's delusional, for him to say a millionaire or billionaire took me away from my children, and for him to have animosity in his heart because of that, this man is not at the point in his life where he's reached his personal rock bottom to where he's willing to say, I do have a mental disorder. I haven't handled that appropriately. I do need some help. Until he says those three things, we're just going to keep seeing videos like this. And I'm not saying that to be cold. I'm saying he has not hit his personal rock bottom, and that's not on us. We can still pray for this man. We can still try to help him when we can, but until he wants to receive the help, this is what it is. And I personally just don't want to talk about Delonte West. And again, I'm not saying that in a cold-hearted type of way. I'm saying it because I personally understand the situation that's happening. So what we're not going to do is, number one, say this man is saying homophobic things when we know that he's not in his right mind. And two, we're going to wait until he's ready to receive help. That's all I got to say about that. Chris, what you got to say?
Like you, not much, because to be completely real with you, I saw it on Twitter first because I live on Twitter, and I couldn't put myself to watch the video because, and like you said, you've been saying it, and a lot of people, I've agreed with a lot of people that it's just one of those things like, yes, it's nice in the moment, this is happy, haha, this is good, but you have that fear in the back of your mind just because of situations, and like you have had people in my family who've gone through similar things. You worry about the possibility of like a relapse or going, back to, where they were up front, because like you said, you can't force somebody to want to be better. And it felt like this was definitely, which was nice, but this definitely felt like one of those situations because he was going through this for so many years and didn't do any changes on his own, knowing that he had people and family that was trying to help him out. And as well as it was for Mark Cuban to pull him out and try and put him in this situation, like, great, but it was that what he actually wanted, and we're seeing that right now. So for that reason, it was tough for me to even watch the video. I haven't watched the video. I've just seen the clips, and I've saw the posts and stuff like that. Luckily, I have common sense to not take a lot of the headlines to heart, because I know that they're, like, I love the analogy to Dave Chappelle. They're trying to get what they're trying to get out of it and make a whole other narrative, but it's tough. I feel for him, and like you said, I really hope that he does come to a point where he wants to help, because now he's in trouble on top of being in trouble, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's just it's rough, and I feel for the dude. Not saying I was ever a big Delonte West fan, but you never want to see somebody that got as high as he did in life, playing in the NBA and stuff like that, fall this far down and be where he's at. So it's tough, but like you said, he's got to want it for himself, so we can't want it for him, So it's kind of rough to see it happen.
I watched the whole video, and it was, my heart just shattered in a million pieces watching the video, because, and it's not just because it's Delonte West, it's because my heart would shatter in a million pieces seeing anybody go through that, just because of the things that he was saying, and again, I have a family member that is still going through that, so it's one of those things. And for me personally, I had reached the point where I was like, jail might be the best thing. And y'all know I'm not for that, but jail, how else are you going to force this person into a rehab situation? How else are you going to force this person to take the proper meds? There's just no way, because we've spent, and we don't have Mark Cuban money. My family ain't got it like that, but we done spent good money after bad money to no avail. And so at some point you have to just understand it's not on you. You can't save everybody. And that's all. I guess that's the main message I have for today. Don't let it break your heart, though, because, you just have to hope that you've put enough good karma out in the world that maybe somebody else will be able to reach them in a way that you can't. That's the best you can hope for, right? So that's all we got for today. Now I definitely I'm going to have to get my Marshawn Lynch on and do a 3-shot minimum, because that just depressed the hell out of me.
Man.
Get my Marshawn on. But you guys make sure you check us out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be back then. Follow me at JRated Follow Chris at CK2K. And we'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Be safe.
Bye.